Hey everybody, my name is Douglas Sly, and today I'm going to be sharing some of my leadership crucibles for the Ignite presentation. I'm going to be sharing how they shape my values and taught me how to be a leader in the future. So to start, I'm going to be giving you an example of what a crucible is. So a crucible is a transformative experience in which an individual comes to a new or altered sense of identity. I had a lot of these early mentorship crucibles from my parents back when I was a child, just learning what it was to be a person and how important it was to have character and morals, and stuff like that. One of the biggest crucibles I learned was that working hard got me far. I always was out helping my dad and my mom work on the house and clean up the house, and so I learned that doing this would help further my relationship. At this time, I was working at entry-level jobs like fast food places and restaurant work, where I learned of a lot of what not to do. Some of the problematic practices that I saw in these places just made me feel like working less hard for the people in charge and trying less for the leadership because they were just being lazy or just yelling at me to do something rather than instructing. I faced a lot of failure during this time where I was overwhelmed or just completely out of my depth, and I learned that in order to succeed, you have to go through these failures and keep on pushing until you know what to do. I overcame a lot of conflict during this time as well, learning that when you work together, you can get stuff done a lot easier than when you are butting heads. During this time, or after this time I should say, I started working at a golf course. And at this golf course there was a manager there that was my manager, and he taught me a lot of what I should be doing in the workplace and how I should be managing my employees. He taught me that leading by example is one of the most important things you can do. He would always go and show us how to do the work or help us do the work while we were doing it, and it really helped me feel like he wasn't above me. We built a lot of trust during this time, and I think that was important for me looking at this manager more than just a manager and rather than a friend. And I wanted to work harder for this person because I trusted them. He also led with empathy, showing that he didn't feel like he was above anyone. And to me, this is so important because you're always going to be managing someone lower than you, so you have to show them that you don't think they're better than they are. We overcame some crisis while I was working here, where a manager quit without any notice, so I had to step up for 2 weeks and actually help open the course every day. So this taught me a lot of how to overcome a crisis. Power of communication was so important for me during this time, just because I had to learn what to do and what not to do, and the only way to do that was to talk to the people around me that knew. So I had to learn that quickly. After I worked at this golf course, I ended up taking a job as a camp counselor for an old camp I went to back in 5th grade. So I wanted to use this as an opportunity to test out my leadership skills. At this camp, all the events were group activities where the kids were working together to accomplish some goal or just win a game, something like that. So it taught me that working together as a team really can help get stuff done. I also learned the value of diversity, and that being that all the kids there just had so many different personalities and ways that they thought about life, and I found that using those in different ways could help us figure out stuff that we couldn't without that. I also learned that it's important to always keep on learning. These kids were so much younger than me, but they taught me a lot of life lessons, and they taught me a lot of stuff that I really didn't know before. After all of that, we finished up the camp, and I felt like I had bonded with these kids a lot, and I felt like I had honed in my leadership skills and just understanding that I didn't know everything and that I needed to keep on working for what I cared for. This is, at the moment, this is all the leadership crucibles that I have. I'm sure in the future I'm going to gain some more as I'm still just entering the real workforce. So, thank you.